61st running of the Daytona 24, and look who I bumped into here. The legend, five-time winner, Hurley Haywood, and he's celebrating his 50th anniversary from when he won this race. Welcome, Hurley.
Thanks, Eddie. Good to be here.
Hurley, over all these years, it was so hard to find out your age. But now that you're a movie star, that your book's out, everybody knows all about you, and it's really good to see you here at this race. And what's the take so far with Porsche being here?
Well, I think the whole Porsche network is excited about being here. We have GT cars, which are really good. They have a little bit of a restriction problem right now, but I think by the time the race starts, they'll be fine. The GTP cars are fantastic. Porsche's really done a lot of homework to make those cars reliable. They've tested, 30,000 miles, I think, of testing. So they've covered every single scenario that could happen. But testing is one thing, racing is a whole different ballgame. So they'll be spectacular. I think the cars look great. There was a picture of the 917K that we had with the 963, and the size difference is incredible. I always thought the 917 was a big car, but when you put that against the 963, it looks tiny. But everybody's got the same dimensions, so I think it's going to be a really fantastic race.
And what's your take too, and the buzz with Penske coming back with the 963? I mean, it's pretty exciting.
Well, Roger Penske is a class act, and everything that he touches turns to gold. So he's very disciplined. He knows how to run these kind of races. He knows his crew is flawless. He's got a lot of really good people working for him. So I think if from Porsche's side, if you had to pick a team that was based in America, that would be the team to pick.
And what's your take this weekend? I mean, will you be with Penske and checking it out up close?
I'm definitely going to be rooting for Roger, but and the GT team. So we've got some of our drivers that drove for Brumos in the day. They're on the GT side, so it should be a good race. Everybody's kind of what's going to happen. The weather is hopefully will cooperate, but if it does get some rain on Saturday night, the Porsches are in a really good position. They're really good in the rain. So, but we don't really know about the GTP. I love GPT cars. Basically those were the foundations of my whole entire career with GTP. So I'm excited that they named it GTP because everybody really has an association and remembers what those cars were like. And now we have really a whole new generation of GTP cars, so it should be exciting.
So let's go backwards a little bit. 50 years, 1973, when you won this race. I mean, what was your feeling back then,
Well, when you look back 50 years ago, when we got the call, Peter Gregg was going to get a car and Roger Penske was going to get a car. And I was pretty green at that point. This was only my third year of racing, 1973. And so for me, it was really exciting. For Peter, we were gonna have equal cars and he was gonna be matched up against Roger Penske. That was sort of the height of what the bar that you had to come up to win. And we started off and I remember having great battles with both George Fulmer and Mark Donohue. And it was really a learning experience for me. I never had raced against that caliber of driver before. And it was wonderful. And then Roger had some problems with their car, and they went out. So all the pit stops that we had made, we maybe had 4 or 5 guys in our pit, and that was it. All the engineers and Porsche people were down at Roger's pit. When Roger went out, they all came back to our pit. So I made my stop for fuel, and suddenly there was, 25 people in our pit, and I said, where did all these people come from? So it was kind of it was a good thing, and we won that race by 30 miles. We did all of our, perfect pit stops. We only spent like 28 minutes in the pits in that race in 1973. and including breaking a windshield. Bird went through the windshield in the morning, and they found another windshield, replaced it. So we really had good luck and perfect car for that race.
Anything stand out over the 5 victories that you had? I mean, was the first one the sweetest, or I mean, which one stands out?
Well, when you're driving a Porsche, you have your odds of being successful are pretty high. When you're running with a caliber of Peter Gregg's car and Brumos, it was, he was such a fanatic about detail work, and the crew practiced pit stops. We had just like Roger Penske, we had every problem that could exist covered, and if it happened, we would be able to fix it, except for the windshield. We didn't have a spare windshield, but it all worked out in our favor. But I remember Peter and myself on the breaks. We would sleep in the back of the trailer in sleeping bags. Now you've got a whole, beautiful motorhomes. You've got a squad of chefs that cook the food. You got doctors. You got all these wonderful things that we never had before, and it just shows you how the development and the scale of everything has gotten just enormous. So, our budgets back then to run a really first-class team was maybe a couple $100,000 at that point, and now it's it's $10 million to run a first-class team. So, things change.
It has evolved, but it's definitely nice seeing you here. And you're going to be busy doing your Porsche things this weekend.
Yeah, luckily they still think I'm valuable, so it's a good feeling, and I think the fans are going to really enjoy it. The weather's supposed to be pretty good, and the pre-sales of tickets are enormous, so the infield is packed. I mean, there is not a blade of grass out there that doesn't have something going on it. So that's good for the speedway. It's good. This weekend is the second most popular from a fan standpoint and from a money standpoint in speedway history. So that's good.
It is. I mean, it is. When I came in, and the traffic has just been unbelievable.
And that's on a Thursday.
Yes.
You can imagine what it's going to be like on the weekend. So.
Well, Hurley, I really appreciate you taking a couple seconds and chatting with us. It's good to see you.
It's always great to be on YouTube.